Issues surrounding the border and immigration will likely be big factors in the race for the White House next year, and it may be why candidates on both sides are visiting and speaking out about the issue. NewsNation correspondent Allie Bradley has a closer look.
From one end of the state to the other, presidential hopefuls are here in Arizona right now trying to assess the border crisis firsthand. So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis arrived in Cochise County, which is in the Tucson sector, which is basically the epicenter of human and drug smuggling, leading the nation in gotaways, which are people trying to evade law enforcement, and also in fentanyl seizures. Now, when the governor arrived here, of course, he was with several different sheriffs from different states across the country, and it does include his own state of Florida, Texas, Arizona, Idaho, and New Mexico. This all, of course, comes as the governor has been receiving some backlash for, once again, sending migrant flights across the country, this time to Sacramento. The governor, however, maintains that these flights were voluntary and that they did get verbal and written consent from these migrants who chose to board this plane. Now, the other thing that the Florida governor is doing is he has deployed several resources to Texas after Governor Abbott asked for a little bit of help. So the governor saying that people within the Florida system, the law enforcement that went down there on behalf of Florida, actually encountered and interacted with nearly 6,000 migrants. One of them was actually an MS-13 gang member who flagged on the U.S. terror watch list. Now, of course, Governor DeSantis' trip down here, he was not only meeting with sheriffs, but also with community members as well, trying to really assess what's going on down here. And that includes some ranchers who are being impacted by human and drug smuggling in the county. Now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis had this to say when he was asked about what's going on down here at the border and what he has witnessed.
We've seen almost 2.5 years of disaster upon disaster. And I don't know how you could just sit there and let the country be overrun with millions and millions of people coming illegally and massive amounts of drugs coming in that are having a profound impact on communities all across this country. And yes, we're here at ground zero, but part of the reason we're here is because this is not a problem that only affects border counties. If it was only that, we still should want to be here supporting because what's going on is wrong. But this is affecting communities all throughout the United States of America.
Now, Ron DeSantis is not the only presidential candidate down here along the border this week. On the Democrat side, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is actually down here as well. And we actually had the opportunity to go along with RFK Jr. and his camp exclusively when they toured the food bank down there in Yuma, and also sat one-on-one with recently retired Yuma Border Patrol Sector Chief Chris Clem. So we actually got to talk with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. a little bit exclusively about his stance on the border, and it really couldn't be more different than the current administration when it comes to border security.
I think we need detention. And the reason for that is, I understand the impulse of the administration is that detention is inhumane. But what we're doing now is much more inhumane because because of the suspension of the detention policy. It has become an invitation to other people to take this huge risk to try to get into this country because it's a signal that it's an open door.
Now, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. also said that one of the priorities was really strengthening the working relationships with Mexico and really holding Mexico accountable when it comes to illegal immigration. Now, when I talked with Governor Ron DeSantis about his trip here, he says that he learned a lot. He has a lot to process and take back with him to Florida. Both camps kind of are in the process of working out their next trips to the border or their next conversations with border law enforcement as well to continue these conversations.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation in your cable lineup. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-based, unbiased coverage.